don't know what it says.
But what's the, can I see the code, please?
All right, I'm already starting the recording.
8908.
I'm just starting the recording. You still have time to check in.
I said we're doing just practice problems today.
All right, so to save our time, if you come later, you still can do the check-in, right? And we're starting to go through the quiz. If you have your quiz results, you can show it with you, and we are working on this together today. And then we will give the time for you. You can use the sequence number we provide over here to do a percentage diagram, right? So what you have tried last week. So what is the sequence number for this one? Anyone give me the number? Why? Why you put a 1 here?
Where, for A?
For the A, yes.
0?
Zero.
No, it's sequence of 0.
0, okay. And what you put for B? 1, why? Because using 0 is comes from A, you plus 1, you get a 1, right? And the same for this one.
I don't know if it's coming.
Same for this one, right? So what's the number for this? Since we know they are B and C, we were using the maximum from B. B is 1, C is 1. So we plus 1, we get her 2. Does that make sense? Because 1, the biggest from here is 1. So this is from B. So basically B is here is 1 plus 1, we get 2. 1 plus 1, we get a 2, right? How about here? The max, the D is 1, E is 2, F is 2, and this is 2, right? You plus 1, you get a 3. So for here is F is 2, 2 plus 1, you get 3.
Yeah.
D is 1 plus 1, you get 2. And for here is H is 3, I is 3, and the J here is 2. You plus 1, you get a 4.
You have to write all the numbers, even if they're the same.
You need to do the same thing as I did here. You all
For the max.
for which one?
For anyone that has.
It was,
You gotta write all.
well.
Yes, because this is means pick up the largest one from
Yeah.
these cells. Okay?
I just put the.
No, you need to do this because I need to know whether you understand how to do this. Okay?
I would.
You cannot only just write in 2 here. You need to write in maximum 1, 2, 2, 2.
Okay.
Okay? And the same as here, you need to write in maximum 3, 3, 2.
Are you gonna take off points on this assignment if we have max?
Well, 'cause we didn't know.
You can fix it.
Okay,
You can fix it. The reason I do this is help you to fix it.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you did something wrong with your quiz, go ahead to fix it and resubmit it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm only grading the last one you submit.
All right. Okay.
If we are starting to grading maybe tomorrow. If I see you did not fix it, then I will grading whatever you have. Okay.
How did you know to do yours, man?
So this is important.
Did you
So
go?
will you grade the, are we gonna resubmit a new attempt or is it just?
That's what we did the first time.
You can resubmit a new one to make sure you have everything is perfect over there.
Why
Okay.
did you not write max? Like he did. Why did you?
Anytime there's multiple letters, he always writes max.
Go ahead.
So I just write max. So I just didn't know.
So if you only write 1 plus 1 for this one, for this here, you need to fix it like this.
Yeah.
And also you're doing this for your
That's what-
virtual quiz, assignment, and exam.
That's what he been doing.
If not, I will take off.
That's why I don't,
Look at that.
Max.
Oh, teacher's
Yeah.
pets.
yeah,
Oh,
teachers don't know it. Teachers don't know.
Everything should be exactly like
Teachers
this.
don't know it.
You give the max here, it means you understand you're going to pick up the largest.
Yes, but
All right, take your time to check your quiz results.
no, the other one.
It should be giving a similar result like this, okay?
I'm good with everybody. Or it's trash. Everybody's trying. Nobody. What side is she?
Right there. Okay. Yes, you do. She's down in class for the one in the morning.
She's an older lady.
So I give you maybe 8 minutes. You can start into see if you can draw the percentage diagram for this one. Activity on node, okay?
Always doing stuff, but never actually doing stuff.
I like put aside.
But then it's like, you didn't.
He picture me. I don't know. And then you don't have a name, like you not
It's
even
for
know
recent
what
issues.
class.
You cannot submit.
We had that
I don't know.
class
Oh,
that
let me
built stuff. Not 04's class, but the class before estimating with 04 we had with her,
You got a copy.
where we had to go to the site visit.
Yeah, you should be okay to submit it because it's unlimited.
Well, I'm looking,
The correct way you submit the quiz is not go to the grading center. The correct way you submit is go to the core content. And then you finding this quiz here. Click that one.
do we not have to draw?
No, you for this quiz, you only need to have the sequence number. Okay?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Hold up, for which one?
We didn't need to do
For
that.
this, you already did the quiz, you only need to have the sequence number. Go ahead.
So when they're asking for the sequence number, is it like the first number we write, like the zeros, or is it the after the addition? That's the sequence number.
That is sequence number because 0 is come from here. So you give,
Like the second one, like is zero the sequence number, or is one addition?
so this is the additional one and the result is this one.
Is that the sequence number?
That's the second number for B.
Not know that.
And that is second number for A. Yeah. All right. Any other question? Go ahead.
Yeah, I be like, yeah, she look like. Yep, yep.
The diagram is for the practice in this class, it's not for the quiz.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying if we drew it on the clear, I'm just gonna disregard it, like, not forgetting.
There's no additional credits. Yes. If you did it, that was, I will see. If you did it, you submit and that was correct. When I review, when I grade it, I will give you extra points. Okay? But if you did not do it yet, do not do it. It's not necessary, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So there's 2 minutes past, you still have 6 minutes to try the diagram, okay?
So got your diagram?
Try the diagram, yes?
That's why we draw a diagram like this. So I'm come over there. So I'm come over there. I'm gonna let you draw the diagram. Hell no.
Probably related to, lift because you wait.
Yeah, no,
North 495.
Four, 4, 2, 3.
No. You got it all wrong.
Bring back.
Zero, and then we can do down.
I think the way it's meant for the body.
Let's say we are in the practice time, it's not a talking time, okay?
Never,
I should just actually.
yes, never,
Doing that again.
never, never, never would I do that.
He's the only thing he changes everything. He's talking, laughing, smiling, having a good time.
Ridiculous.
Look at him. I can hear his voice.
And I know his show.
I know, I got it from him.
I came in. What's doing now? Gary's probably your best person to ask. Gary or Caleb?
I don't know how to tell if he didn't change this shit.
One has box and one talk.
I told him,
You did.
I told him
Gary,
what the right order was.
Right, when
And
you
was
send it to him.
0 and B was 1.
Did you
Yeah,
send it?
I texted him that I couldn't send it to him, I wasn't at home,
and then Caleb.
but I think he got it.
I feel bad. I hate doing it. Come on, this.
You're not gonna send it to him, but they'll
So we are using the quiz result to draw the diagram for governance.
Was your first bug?
Even though I know how to do it, I trust.
That's not what. You gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, literally on the first episode, I just started doing. Like it. I like it so far.
How come we don't add anything to the first one?
Because that's the beginning one.
Something like that.
Oh, I
Yeah.
I mean, I switch meetings.
I should have been graduated, so like, people in my transfer room, but I took back to people that left over.
I'm actually glad I got all of this. It's not that old.
Yeah, I should have taken that. Like, go to take a random back.
I gotta say, I took the. Project.
Do you have a 1 minute? 1 minute left. So is anyone finished the drawing? 1, 2, 3.
I'm not done.
Yeah, those finished maybe not doing it here. The already did it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, to keep the class in schedule, we will go to starting to finish this together, okay? So, we're getting the same number for the column is from 0 to 4. That means we should have sequence number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 columns, right? So if you are not, so since we are all the beginners, right? So we can draw the columns. We make sure we have 5 columns and you put in the row number. The name of each column is in the first row, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we're starting from the sequence number 0 column. So we identify is any one we're going to use over here, which has sequence number is 0. So only A here, right? So if you did A, you can cross A. Does that make sense? You don't need to look back. So you put A over here. And then we finish the column for section number 0. We're looking for the column for section number 1. So is any of them has the section number 1?
Yeah.
You have 3.
Yes.
B, C, and D, right? So you can put a B, C, and D here. So those may be changed because if we're keeping in the sections like B, C, and B, like in this order, we may have a cross line later. So we keep this one here. We can do it later, right? So next is which one has a column is 2. You have
We got 3 on.
E, F, G, and J, right?
Yeah.
So we can temporarily put it here E, F, G, and J. And the next one we're looking for is which has the section number 3. You have H and I. So H and I. So the next we have the K remaining, right? So then we put all them in the water. So that will help us to look at them better without missing or overlooking someone, right? So now we're going to link them together. So when we're starting to link them together, we should looking the relations from here, like A is nothing here, and B is follow A, right? So that will be a point from A to B. So A to B. Do we have a point from A to C? And we have a arrow come from A to D, right? So that is the correct one. So when you finish this, you may think about to give a box for each of them, right? So you get a box for this one. So we finish A, B, C, D. Now we're looking for we've done this. We've done for this. Now we're looking for E. So we're looking for E. We have B and C go to E. Is that correct? So B go to E and C go to E. And we're looking for F is only B go to F, right? So B go to F is like this. We have a cross over here. So this is a 2 way to fix this cross. One way is you remove this one, you do this. B, and you get a jump over here to F. Does that make sense? I did a jump, a small curve over there to make sure you not exact cross it. So this is a way to do it. When you have very complicated, you cannot move them, you can do like this. But in our case, It's quite simple. What we can do is we're going to remove those. We change this one to F. And we change this one to E. Does that make sense? We can change it because they are still in the second column, right? So now we have the relation B to F. We have B to E and the C to E without creating any crossover there. There's no crossover here, right? Okay, now we're looking for, we done this, looking for G. G is going to connect with what? B. So if we're doing this, it will be the same here. We had to have a cross, right? If we want to avoid the cross, what we can do? Switch which?
No, B and C. Can't do it. You can do a jump, can't you?
We can move this one to here. Does that make sense? We can reward this as GFE, right? So we're going to do this, and we can try because we are in the practice and we have plenty of time. So we will figure out what is the best way we can do it, right?
So we're not allowed to have any crossing lines on the chart.
I just mentioned that. Do not have this cross. You can have this cross. You cannot put a cross over there, but you need to jump it. But it's better to avoid it. If you can avoid it, go try to avoid it. Okay? So what we put here is F and E, right? So we have the B relation here. We have B relation to F. B relation to E and the C relation to E. There's no cross right now. Does that make sense? Since we did rewarding them and we avoided the cross, that definitely we are doing that way. So what next we're looking for? We're looking for H, right? So H is come from D to H. Say that again?
You have to follow the order.
Why are we doing J?
We already did a G. G is here. This is G.
No, J.
J? Yeah, we can do J, yes. Oh, yes, because this is still in the second one. So you can, yeah, I'm following this order. You can follow in that order, doesn't matter. Because I'm following this order is because it's easy for me to cross them. Does that make sense? I do one by one without any miss anything, right? So you definitely can do this. This is easy, right? But I have noticed that maybe we have some changes later, right?
You're changing this too much.
Yeah, so that is why we need to use a pencil. Because you cannot move them around. Then you need to use a pencil and the eraser to remove them. That is hand. But if you're doing the computer stuff, it's different way.
I am doing it, and I think that's too much.
But anyway, this is the handwriting, hand drawing is like this. Okay?
So overlapping is not okay. We always have to
Try
change
to
order.
avoid. Try to avoid.
Try. Okay.
Try to avoid. I would like to see someone give me a very nice result. I definitely give extra bonus, right? But if you give me something is false like this, I will concern. I have said you need to do like this. Why you forgot to do it, right? Go ahead.
You know, we have something like D is going to H, we just do the dotted lines.
I'm not doing a diagram. I know this is a temporary one. This is just a temporary one. This is not a dot line. This is a straight line. I temporarily put it over there because I have noticed that there will be some changes over here. Okay, because someone stopped me. Let's we continue this one. So if we look at this H here, we have D, E, F, G. So D is here. I already linked them. E is here. F is here, and G is here. Is that correct? But if you see this, I may cross this box for the E. This is not allowed. So if you have a box like this, you your relation between D and H has crossed this box. This is not allowed. This is not to try. This is not allowed. So that means we need to move the H, come down a little bit, right? We need to move H starting from here, and we probably need to move H to here,
To the bottom of,
or maybe to the bottom,
yeah,
right?
like, let's put it below J.
Yeah.
Let's put it all the way to the bottom.
Put it below I, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
bottom.
So this is
Yeah, wrap
H.
it around.
This is H. That may work. So I'm not sure.
Might work.
It might work, right? So let's erase those things and let's try again. So we have G to H, we have F to H, we have E to H, and we have the D to H,
Yes.
right? And if we think that is okay, we move into the next one is I. I is to what? I is to F. Does that make sense? So I is to F, F should become to I. So there was some student gave me a check last week, something did like this. Let me erase this one. Someone did like this. F came to the top of I. Is that allowed? That is not allowed.
You gotta do a jump, right?
No, not talking about jump yet. I'm talking about is that F can come to the top of the I.
I literally just did that.
No, you cannot. You can only point to here.
Okay.
Okay, you can only point from the left side and point up from the right side. Okay, I'm telling you all those rules just to make sure you give very, very clear results, very good presentation about your drawings.
Okay.
Okay, without confusing me or confusing someone else who is cheating using your assignment result to submit. Okay, so if you do that, someone copy like that, I don't know. Oh yeah, right? It's very identified to give 0 for this student and also give 0 for that student, right? So let's go ahead to remove this one. So in this case, we put in the I over here is not looks good. We need to move a little bit up and also H a little bit up, right? So maybe maybe we can do like this. We're going to remove those. So I'm going to using I over here, and I'm going to using H over here. So the I is only has a relation from F, so I do this. And the H has a relation from D, I do this. E, I do this. F, I do this. And for G over here, you cannot avoid it. So you can only cross it, right? Or if you can find a way to avoid it, you can switch the relation between G and F. So for example, you can do like this. You can remove this one and put this one as F. And then remove that one and put that one as G. Is that okay to I'm trying, is that okay to fix that? Maybe or may not. Let's see. So F has relation to I, yes. F has relation to H, yes. G has relation to H, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fix it, right? Without any cross. Does that make sense? You can always try to avoid the cross to make it better presentation about your results. Okay, now we did I. So we come to D, sorry, we come to J. So we already did it because someone asked me to do this before, right? So otherwise I'm following one by one. So the next I have is H, I, and K. That's easy. I, H, and K. That is easy, right? So since I'm done with all of them, I'm going to using the box to cross them. If you did like, do you think I will give you 100% credits?
You said did what?
Did like this way.
Yeah.
Do you think I will give 100% credits?
Yeah.
I will tell you I will not.
What?
Why?
110.
Extra credit right there.
Yeah,
The lines don't cross.
yeah, facts, but it's not clean.
You have a problem over here. Your arrow is in your box.
Oh,
Okay? I mean, you have a problem over here. Your arrow is from the box.
That essentially.
One, two, three, four.
Are you free?
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's how many points you said.
Okay, you know what? Uh-huh.
Can we get like a clean version? Can you show us a clean version?
The pretty much already came out, you need to connect to here.
Oh,
You
we
need
gotta
to
touch the
connect to
line.
here.
Yeah.
You need to stop with here.
I need to take
You
this
need
on.
to connect to here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Write that down, Mark.
So I'm using a blue. I will use the blue to fix it, okay?
Okay. Just so we can see it, you know?
I will use the blue to fix it. So that you will do like this. That you will do like this. That you will connect to it. And that you will stop it here. All right, so that will be the result looks like. Look in the blue one. If they are circular with red, you look in the blue one. You should be very close to the left edges, right? Left edges, left edges. So all those are from the left edges, right? And this one has an issue as well. So make sure you are fully connected with it. So, so if you do this, I think you will be fine, okay?
Which one?
Hey, connected from the right to the left, okay? Give me a good presentation. And if you can you can organize your drawing very well like this without any cross, yeah, I will consider give you a bonus.
What if we do the jump?
If you do the jump, no bonus.
But you want something different. Yeah.
Not really have difference. Is same as someday you someday you wear the suit, someday you wear the pajama. What's the difference?
Well, for clothes.
It's same way. It's all if it's all clean clothes, it's fine. But someday you wear a suit without of the marks. Do you think that is good? No. Yeah, that is same as here, right? You do a cross, it means you have some marks. So try your best to give a good presentation about the results. Is respect your efforts, right? So, all right. So, any question for this one? No. Awesome. So,
No. Oh, yeah. I just want to make sure,
this is a video recording. You don't need to take picture.
in case, I don't want to pull up recording though. I just want to whip it out quick access.
Okay, I can get a screenshot.
Yeah, I really want to take it.
I can give a screenshot. I think that solution is on website as well. Okay. If no more question for this one, I'm going to open another practice for you guys. Okay. So let's do the in-class example. Oh, that is the result. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. You will finish this one? We did that one in class, right? Let out the foundation, big foundation, please framework, and also we add a P over there. We did this one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They keep it clean. I just want to get a good grade. So like, what if like, can we have like multiple arrows on one side of the bottom? Like, one at the top,
No.
one in the middle, one in the bottom. No, like, but it's all on this side. It's all
yeah,
on
yeah,
this
you
side,
can, you
but
can.
it's like
You
one,
can.
two.
You can.
Okay, just make sure it's clean though.
Yes,
It's
just
clean.
make it clean, yes. But it's preferred to point out to the same point. If you can.
Like try to keep it.
Yeah, keep them in the same point, yes,
All right,
if you can.
I appreciate it.
So we already did this one. So, so that is the sense. You can see here, if you join with a computer or even how you using the PowerPoint, it's easily to get in from the same point. So we did that one, right? So we finished that one. And that is the result. And we did that one.
That was the one from homework.
That one is from the quiz. Right?
Quiz.
Yeah, that one is from the quiz. So, so we just finished this one, and let's continue with the slides. So when you join the network diagram, so there are some activities. They were consuming the time. And the events is only simply occur at a point in the time. So that is we give the summary. What is activities? What is event, right? Activity consuming the time, events does not. So the point in the time at which activity can start may be considered as an event. And also the point of the time the activity end is also an event, right? So the duration of the activity is the estimated time that will be required to complete that activity. So typically in construction, we're using a unit of time is the day, a work day. A work day is 8 hours, right? So it is assuming that work is performed on a continuous and a uniform base within the standard work day and the work week. So, so the reason we give this is because later on we were putting our schedule in the calendar, then we were using that information. So the duration can be frequently be directly related to the labor cost estimates for the task. So here is an example. You have a duration of activity is assuming to be the quantity of your work divided by the productive of your crew. And then you get your crew hours. Once you get a crew hours, you can divide it by hours per day. At 8 hours per day, you can get a days. Does that make sense? Here is 8, that is a crew hour. For example, you have a crew can do a work like a, so you have 100 cubic yard to do an excavation. And your crew productive is 10 cubic yard per hour. How many hours you need? You are using 100 divided by 10, you get 10 hours, right? Does that make sense? And then you are using the 10 hours, 10 crew hours divided by 8 hours a day, you get 1.25, right? Days. What we will do with this 1.25 days? You need to run up to 2 days. Does that make sense? So we always run up. Even though you have 1.1, 1.01, 1.001, you need to run up. Does that make sense? Unless you have more resource to use. Okay? So that is for the active durations. We will continue doing this when we starting with the lecture notes 4. So this one over here, we call it productive. But productive, we can write in another way. Crew hours per quantity or quantity per crew hours. That is the same thing. So for here is another way. You have your quantity of your work divided by the quantity per crew hours and timed with how many dollars per crew hours, and you can find your cost for your labels. So that is something kind of interchange over here. You give your budget for you hire a crew for excavator costs you $100, and your budget for $200 for this work. That means you have 2 crew hours here, right? 2 crew hours divided by 8, you get a 0. something. You still have 1 day to do. That makes sense? So when you look in those things, think about the unit, which is either quantity per crew hour or crew per hour, crew hours per quantity. All that is a cost, or that is a money. So we will have more examples later. So this thing we call is duration. You doing this job, how many hours or how many days needed to be consuming over here. And this part over here, we call its labor rate. How many hours you pay for that crew labor? How many hours you pay for the excavator operator or the helpers, right? So, so we were given all those information, and we should be able to use all that. You can do this based on your quantity takeoff, and also you can do this based on your company history data, right? So, so here is another sense we are going to do if we do the fully scheduling. We will think about the resource and the cost. So this diagram over here is similar to that what we have done for the practice, but you will see they have some box over here, and each box is meaning something. So for here you can see they have the resource limitation for 5 masons and 2 helpers, right? M is for masons and H for helpers. And you see the putting the number over here is means for this activity D, it will require to use 2 masons. And this activity J over here is to using 2 masons and 2 helpers. Those are the limited resources you have in your company. So, but if we're doing like this, it's no meanings. We only put this one into the calendar, and we will see the challenge comes from here. So we'll see it later. We can go to from here. So if we have this, putting everything in the schedule, and we know the first activity costing you 2M, 1H, and the second is cost 1H, 2M. You can drive whatever the. You may have a plot. If that is your M and this is your help, but you also have a limitation. Remember, you only have 5 as maximum. So in case of this, those are more than 5. Can we schedule this work together in the same day? We cannot. We need to shift over there. So that is resource leveling. I'm just going to give you some information here. We will learn this from the lecture notes 6, lecture notes 6. So let's go back to here. We do this diagram is to make sure we have the box over here. We can put in the information. We were starting to learn this in the CPR. So, which is lecture 3. So, so you are going to find in the informations is including the early start time, early finish time, late start time, and late finish time. There are 4 time events here. So for each box over here, you have 4 information: early start, early finish, late start, late finish. All those 4 events, we're going to figure out them. And in the meantime, you have another 2 things we call is free fruit and the total fruit. We will explain later, right? So come to here. The early start time you need to keep in your mind. The early start time is the earliest of activity can start based on the limited resource or limited whatever, right? Based on its concentrations. So the late start time is the latest of activity can start without impact the computation data for the project, right? And the early finish time is earliest time activity can expected to be completed, and the late finish time is the latest of activity can be completed. So there are 4 events over here. We are going to do the calculation and to understand it. And this is the result, the presentation of it, right? So the calculate the early, late, finish, and start time. So and then if we have, a critical activities. It starts later than the assigned days, and that project duration will be delayed because you know the late time you finish the activities. If that is a critical activity, that means you have no freedom to delay. If you delay that critical activity, you will delay the whole project. So without number, we are hard to understand this, but just keep in mind, critical activities is no freedom to delay, right? So you need to schedule them and then doing them in time. So there are some things over here. I'm not going to say them detailedly over here because when we're doing the CPM calculation and you are understanding what is the critical activities. The critical activity is the one free time and the total flow, and total flow is equal to 0. Same as early time is equal to a late time, right? And this activity, you're putting them together and you will get the critical parts. So that is the same for the resource leveling. And this is a schedule for the computer diagram looks like. So we are not going to do it before the exam. So before the exam, we do all the hand calculation. After the exam, we are using the computer software and also doing our project. So that is half and half. Challenge you in the first half semester and easy you for the remaining half semester. So that is basically the schedule for this class, okay? So that is the finished lecture notes 2. I was planning to give you some more exam to practice in class, but I don't think we have time to finish, but we still can start it. So we finished this lecture notes 2 here today, and we did a quiz for the sequence number. And you can see here, this is another quiz here. It said it's February 1st. So, but actually we were doing this quiz in next class, okay? So we will have a quiz on Thursday. It's for IPA and AOM. Basically, it's the same thing you did in class today, okay? So I probably will give you assignment 1 on Thursday, not today. I gave you plenty of time to review the lecture we did last week and also the lecture we did today to make sure you are good to go the IPA and the AOM quiz in this Thursday. So the remaining of the class time, we were going to try this one. So we done this one, but we not yet do this one, right? So okay, so so this one is open. I do not have a clear answer for this one. So the first step we do in this one is to identify the IPAs, right? And the second one we do this is calculate the sequence number. This is 1, this is 2, and the 4, and the 3 is diagram. Okay, take your time, practice with this one, and we will at during our class it's 2:05. Okay, about 12 minutes. Let's see if we can finish the IPAs. We discuss in class doing the IPAs, and then next time we come to here, we can starting to review your sequence number and your diagram. So you do the diagram and sequence number after class, because our class is scheduled to end by 2:50, right? So I'm going to end by 2:05, and then you have another 45 minutes. You can either do here or take it home, right? Okay. So let's try use about 10 minutes or 8 minutes, and see if we can figure out what are the IPAs for this one. So there are more than 10 activities you can discuss with your classmates at the group, and we can figure out a good result for our entire classroom.
My classes and multiple. And then it's like, wow, but it's- there's only like this more. You know, I just wanted to be natural. Bro, I'm like, metal. So I ain't want to do like metal. So I it's kind of like, it's like ordered.
I would also like to ask you.
H had like J in it, J was like 4 itself. Or you know, 4 plus 1, it's already at it just depends.
What do you
on
Rhino, Lennar.
B, C, and D are all there. But because B, C, and D all follow A. Then cleaning, and A is zero, global and grading. And hold on, let me write that big down, because I want to make sure.
Yeah, because some things should be done at the same time, but for other things, it's a predecessor, it has to be done.
No, it's not.
So there can be several things at one, but you can't do two, you can't start two. One. Well, I don't know what's on this one yet, but. Like, you can't pour the concrete before you do the reinforcement and put it in the framework.
No, underneath there.
I mean, I did have a sequence in this, I just don't get how, like, what number they do. I don't understand the method of like, yeah, for like specifically this.
The sequencing or the IPA?
So the sequence is based on the IPA. So you need to identify
After
that.
which part,
The challenge is to identify the IPAs for this one.
what do you have in challenge now, the IPA or?
Yes, but-
Sidewalk and landscape. Like, live in a house, so you have to go to that house, so I know how to do it.
Oh, this is,
How you gonna pull it up? What's this one called?
under, note O2, chapter 2, that was more.
Check, yes, that is IPA example,
Yeah.
PDF.
Yeah.
That shit would be that deep. The only part that I don't understand is the zero, the minus one.
The one is just the next step you're going. So if you're at step two, you have to add the next step, so that you go from 1 to 3. So they would. But it's so far away.
You felt that.
Okay, bro, work is fun. If you make your money and do what you want to do.
I be feeling bad for people that go to school and get a job or something.
I don't just, I do feel bad, I don't. Artist as your major. That's when you chose something.
I swear she told me
Nah,
that we had a program with Sunday.
I feel like
I don't.
Like she was talking to me in there. Like, how do we get the
Yeah, I don't feel bad for you.
She's been out of college for 3 years, so I don't know if she's had a good job.
The people that now feel bad for you, people like public health.
I was the point, I was on 100K a day, you can't get a job.
Well, if you follow your passion instead of following what it's gonna be. Yeah, passion's gonna get you money.
Unless this is your passion, this.
Some.
Exactly. No, I still wanna get some like service. I wanna get like back service.
What you're good at.
I'm good with my hands. That was like my first time going to college, I went to the business. I hated this.
It's a little different though. It's not like you had the choice when you were older, you know, like.
At first, you have to try.
Yeah, it's not, you gotta suit up. You don't gotta put your pads on, you don't want to put your pads on. It wasn't an option. As a kid, you don't really get to say so as a kid, your parents pay for it. But once you get like middle school, you're not paying for it.
We just, so
Well, you
first,
play college.
IPA, it really just.
In middle school, you don't pay for football.
So they put that shit.
She good. I should.
Definitely manage you busy.
Oh, you gotta change. Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. That's all.
That's why
That's all I
have.
have.
Like, are you paid for it? Like, I paid for it. But, I mean, I'm glad I didn't quit, but I ended up having fun and won championship, but it wasn't fun to do it.
I watched them do that. I went to the first bank. That's. I was watching the two on the right next door in jiu-jitsu.
Of course, he
Yeah, yo, she be whooping kids. Sure. Yeah, that's what me is.
That's your money. That's your money.
I'll send you the whole thing.
Do some racist stuff.
Yeah, but, okay, but if you can do an activity. That's when.
I'll send that to you now.
That means.
I'm not, I want 3 boys. I'm gonna.
Okay, which one do
But I can't go get no shit.
He's coming on the 10th.
Yeah, so just how do you introduce the like his podcast, why he had so much.
Let me get you a
That's what we did.
That's a good local partner, and like,
That's on its own.
for me, 4.
Yeah, I think he's actually gonna come in.
Yeah, at least come in.
Yeah, I think he's gonna.
Dang it, yeah. You need us
Just
some.
after, what do we have?
That is crazy.
So yeah, after that, just go to.
I was thinking maybe like 2 years.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, all the
My resume, like, not push it. Y'all can internship. You know? Anybody else?
Also, you are the vice Especially like you're the only one that really wants to.
6 students and 5 companies.
Yeah, nobody that's why I tell them.
I told her, like, no,
It's just, I feel like residential, they're too.
they are.
They're either too picky, they don't have the money, or it's just like, they just don't have, like, they don't have. Like, okay, we can't do something.
Yeah, it's, yeah, you're just talking about residential and construction in general?
Yeah.
I got.
So yeah, through all, I mean, I'm gonna say any money.
Yeah, fine.
I mean, I'm still in the process.
The amount of residential scholarships I've gotten, I just slap it in me on it, they're like, okay, you guys. Because at first was.
There you go.
Yeah.
You gotta-
Now, and I want the opportunity that come with it. You know?
Okay, I like that.
All right, we are ready to check in the results, okay? So I hope you have done something over here. So, mobilization. Nothing. Thank you, nothing. What is IPA for this, clean, grabbing and grading? You agree with A?
Yeah.
What is the one for site electronics? Think about it.
Oh, H.
H is rough electronic, which is after site electronic. So the rough is for the building, and this side is basically you can starting after your mobilize.
Would it be AP?
It will be A only. So if you don't have the site cleaning or grabbing or grading, can you do the site electronics?
No.
So that basically site electronic is the electronic port getting to your construction site as the main junction box. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it goes after,
So you go after your mobilize.
so it wouldn't be B, right?
It will be only A.
Cause you guys sit there.
You don't need to clean, but you still can have your site electronics. Yeah. You may have your temporary structure over there. Yes.
What has to happen?
Yeah, which is immediately update. You can do B and C in the same time. Okay.
It's like they're the same line.
All right. So what is the one for dig foundation, the rebar and the concrete?
Yeah, B.
B. Can you do that without site electronics?
Oh, so B and C.
Yeah.
I would like to say B and C to make it a C, right? So you have B and C here. So what is after the dig foundation? Then you are going to do your form slabs and rebar and concrete, right?
Yes.
So that will be D. Great. How about here? Steel framing. After your slide, right? So will be E here. And what is your roof? After your steel framing, right? And then you can think about the roughly electronics, right? So this will be G. How about your roofing? G, yes. How about your mental siding? That will be F. Yes, you're right, F.
Why is it?
Yeah, because you finish your scale framing, you can do your setting. You don't need to choose. Yeah. You always do your setting before you do a roof, right? Or you can do the same time. So what is the one after K? So you need to finish the setting and then you can do your external door and the windows, right? And what is this one? This will be, you need to finish your wrap, right? And also finish your,
Hold on, why you put J? A, B, C, D,
Because the
E,
metal
F, G,
siding.
H.
yes, and you also need to finish your roofing. Does that make sense?
Oh.
It's J because your siding has to be finished before you.
You gotta have the roof on.
Yeah,
Okay.
you need to finish your roofing first. So how about the extra painting? Extra painting will be after your,
Okay.
After the J.
K is why, because you need to finish your windows, right?
After K.
And this, and there will be another one.
Okay.
Think about which one will be the another one.
Probably,
So think about it, that is your extra painting, that's
J?
your finish for external.
J?
Can't you just do that one?
You can do it with J? I think it's J too.
Okay.
But J is not the intermediate one, because you already did the K, K is after J.
A,
It's a
B,
K.
C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K.
Oh, M.
Okay.
Why we do M?
Oh, we on it.
We have our own M.
Is it,
Can you do it without roofing?
Yes.
yeah,
If you do without roofing, your painting will be,
Yeah, we fine.
Matched up eventually with like moving stuff around.
yeah, so you need to done this after your,
I thought we were in.
after your roofing.
Oh,
I thought we were
Okay.
in. My bad.
Question?
Yeah, so if we already have to do the roof, right?
No,
Or we
the,
can do the,
your siding is not after any of the roof. Do you see anyone is after the I?
oh, I see.
You did not have anyone after I yet. You only have the finished electronics after I. Okay? All right, so what is the one before N?
wait, but this is the thing. If you put K, you can't have K without I. Yeah. Yeah, so isn't it the same thing?
You cannot have what?
You can't have like the exterior.
You cannot have your external doors and windows
Now,
up before you have the roofing? You can.
hold up.
Yeah, if you did an internship with a residential house, you will see they can do the same thing,
What,
right?
have the doors and windows before the roof?
Yeah.
I thought the roof usually be done though,
No.
before they put the doors on the stuff.
Cause I know they'll put it in the door
No.
before they put a roof.
They put in the door and the windows before they put in the roof. You can go there.
Wouldn't that mess up the doors though?
No, we're not messing with the door.
Like, even though we know it need drying and stuff, like when it get like moist in the like area, cause it still got moisture from the roof or something. I don't know, I'm talking.
Yeah, you can go to the construction site, which is doing the residential housing, and see how they do the construction process.
Okay.
Yeah. They already put a roof and door here. They did not put the garage door. They put in the regular entrance door and the windows already there before they're doing the roofing.
Okay.
Okay?
Alright.
Because you make sure if you have 2 stories, you already have your first story covered it. Does that make sense? Your rent is only going to your second floor. Okay, what is the one after, sorry, what is the one should be do before the sidewalk and the pavement?
You got it. I think
That will be,
probably D. D. D.
the foundation,
Yeah.
that's too far away. Think about another one.
And the J?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
The roof is,
J?
we have using the roof somewhere.
No, K? It's K.
I would like to put the L here. Does that make
A,
sense?
B, C, D, E, F, G.
Would be-
Ah.
Yeah, because when you finish your finished electronics And you're already after the H and I, right? You have H is electronics, I is the roofing, so that will be better. Okay, go ahead.
Going based off of like, what is like the best thing to do, or just what has to come? Like, we can start, with, like, you see what I'm saying?
That is the best way to do, and that is following the logistic when you're doing the construction, like the small projects like here.
So you're saying because of some of like the wiring with electric, you can't do the sidewalk and the asphalt work?
I mean, that basically is the very ending stuff. Basically, after your sidewalk and as payment, you will do your landscape, right? After you do landscape, you'll do your final inspection and the cleaning up. That is the last two things. So basically, we're following our order is here. We finish our building and then we move into the site. We move into the site, right? Go ahead.
Finish the business. So like, am I supposed to think residential or?
So this is residential. Or you can see that is a commercial. It doesn't matter, but this is a small project. So think about it. When you see a job site, the already do the cleaning stuff, and the putting the building over there, and the putting the pavement, the last thing, and then putting the grass over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the order.
So my question is, it comes after the finished electrical would have to go first because electrical runs underneath. Therefore, for this, I'm assuming the electrical.
Yes. So true, because you have some electronics maybe underneath the pavement, right? On the ground, right? Under the landscape, right? So that makes sense. Thank you. So let's finish this one. And this is N, and this is MO. All right.
Yeah.
You may take a picture of this one. That is an advantage for you because this and this will be your quiz on Thursday. You can go ahead to study with it, okay? So sequence number AON will be your quiz on Thursday.
So right, so we got, right.
What's the AON?
We need to finish all those things.
It's the drawing.
The quiz on Thursday, you need to have this table. A, B, C, D, E, A to P. You don't need to write in the activity description. You don't need to have this. You need to have this, and the drawings. Okay?
You said we gotta come in with that?
Somebody shot at my.
You can take advantage since you already know what we're going to do on Thursday.
I live in a.
You're a smart man.
I'm Charlie, that's what Charlie.
I'm going to stop this one.
What's that?
Oh, I can't, I just leave.